Hey friends, just wanted to give you all a few tips about these line tracing sheets. So we see Harold here from our story, Harold and the Purple Crayon. There are, I think, 6 different sheets included here in your bag this week, and they do go in order from easiest to hardest. So the one on the top with the lines Harold up top, starting top to bottom, is the easiest. And then we move on to this one, working from left to right. This would be the next one. And then we've got Harold drawing these shapes here. And then this one, even though it looks like scribbles, is actually a lot trickier because they're having to go kind of all over the place to follow the lines, and the lines are crossing over each other. And then this one would be the hardest, tracing the tree, because we've got these lots of different lines and these tiny little circles here. So what I would suggest would be starting with the easiest one first. See how your child does. The idea here when we're tracing is to work nice and careful and slow. So if your child wants, they can use this big crayon here, the jumbo crayon that I included in the bag. Or if it's a little bit easier for them, they can do a smaller crayon or even a marker if they want. So we're gonna start here up top. I'm gonna put my crayon over right by Harold's crayon, and we're gonna go carefully down. They can take their time. If your child doesn't have much experience with line tracing, they can even practice first with their finger, or you could show them really gently with a pencil line, and then you can erase it and then they can try. So we've got this big straight long line down here. Then again, we're gonna go up top, and then this one's a really wide zigzag. So the reason why at preschool we do, once we get into a little bit older preschool, age 3.5 to 5, a lot of these tracing activities is because it's really good pre-writing prep. So in order to write the letters, I think I talked about this last week, your child's gonna need lots of practice just with drawing lines and with that fine motor control before they get into actually writing letters. And there's really no rush for that. I mean, you want to do a lot of alphabet practice, of course, and talking about the letters and their meanings, but there's no rush to get into handwriting early if your child's not interested in it yet. So then we're going to start up top for each of these lines. And if they had some good success with that, then you can move on to this next page. If this was a big challenge for your child, don't worry about it. Just know that maybe that's something you can practice with them. It's that those straight lines, top to bottom, maybe a few easy zigzag lines. And then once they start getting good at that, you can move on to some of these harder ones. So for this one, it's important that they are starting on the left, going over to the right, since that's the way we write. So for each of these, you could even make a little dot for them if you want. We're gonna start right there on the dot. For these shapes, it doesn't matter quite as much where you start. Maybe you could put a little dot here, or they can point to where they wanna start for each of these shapes. And then for this one, we can just start where Harold's starting here. Trace his maze he did. And then same thing for the tree. You could start where Harold's starting, but then they can kind of do it in whatever order they'd like. So if you have any questions about this, let me know, and I hope you have fun with Harold and your purple crayon. I'll see you next time, friends.